It says we're live. It looks like we're live. Oh, wait, that's the wrong game. There we go. I was like, that's not the right game. See, Cameron's always throwing me off. I'm like, is this the Saturday game or is this Wednesday night's live game? I don't... Let me see if Corey's going to be able to join us tonight. All right, so welcome to the Pirates of Drinax. We will be picking up where we left off last week. But before we get started, we would like to thank one of the friends of the Greenwater Guildhall. These are not, friends of the Greenwater Guildhall are not sponsorships or partnerships. These are just products that we like. If you're watching on Twitch and you scroll down, you should see some tiles there. These tiles will take you to all of these fine people's websites. If you don't see the tiles, click on my profile image and those tiles should pop up for you. First, let's see here. What does Corey say? Yep, Corey is going to be able to join us. He is setting up. Tonight we would like to thank the Speechless Bard. Speechless Bard, this woman and her husband make absolutely beautiful leather products for your tabletop role-playing games, such as leather covers for your core rulebook. She's got... if you like to show off your geekiness, she's got leather dice bracelets that are leather bracelets with dice cutouts on them, and they can be done in numerous colors or metallics and just all sorts of customization. She has, I believe she has like key rings that are like class. They have your class stamped into the leather on them, which is really cool. And I mean, I don't know. With as many campaigns and as many different characters as we've all run throughout the years, you'd probably have to pick which class was your favorite. But I'm not saying we have 3-ring binders full of characters, but we kind of have 3-ring binders full of characters. She has a dice rolling mat that when it's rolled up, it looks like a spell scroll. All of these things are customizable to your liking. She does all of the work by hand. And she is an incredibly talented artist. So, yeah, give her a check. And I will say, if you're ordering, especially for a gift idea, but even for yourself, if you are going to order, give yourself a little bit of extra time, pad that window, because she's over the UK, and it can take a little while for stuff to come across the pond and make it through U.S. Customs. If you are a fan of tonight's Traveler game, check out our Traveler page. It's via Obsidian Portal. The adventure log is done in a manner of news articles from the Traveler News Service. And it doesn't just follow what the players are doing. It actually takes a broader look at events that are happening all around the Trojan Reach. And those events may impact the players. They may not. They might impact the campaign in an indirect way. One of the more recent ones that is more or less a direct impact is that 2 of the pirates that initially, way back when, had joined, Ferric Redthane and Maria Silverhand, have been captured by the Imperium. Ferric Redthane was tried, found guilty, shoved into an airlock, and spaced. He is no longer with us. His ship is an impound, which is really too bad because it was a nice ship too. Maria Silverhand, they found out, is pregnant. And so she will go, she's already been convicted, but they are a merciful Imperium. They will put her into an airlock after she gives birth and space her, and then put the baby up for adoption.
For a nominal fee.
For a nominal fee, yeah. So, I mean, honestly, the kid's probably better off. But for anybody that thinks that, oh my God, that's terrible. I got some sorry news for you. That is actually historically accurate as far as pirates go. One example would be Anne Bonny was a perfect example of that. She and her girlfriend were both kind of wives of Jack Rackham, and the girlfriend ended up, they all got captured, and the girlfriend had to wait 9 months to give birth before they'd hang her. And hang her they did. So yeah. So, don't let your heart bleed too much, because that's the way this kind of shit goes. Yeah. So check out that website. If you like the content, give us a thumbs up. We definitely like the fan likes, and we will continue to pump out all sorts of tasty lore for the background of our campaign. So Corey is on his way. I don't know. He might even be here. The one thing I don't like about Skype. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's really weird. So like it puts up one person's name in the center, and then it has like +3 in a circle at the top, and I'm like, that doesn't tell me anything. But anyways, so it'll change to +4 as soon as Corey shows up. So so yeah, we will be picking up where we left off, and so part of that, where you were as a little. You guys had gone and Josh Athaku went and hacked this guy's computer. He is the agent of the clans, Tia. He hacked his computer and put some evidence on the hard drive. Oh, quaint. He put something on the computer that looked like an official report from the Tlaku. Now, the Tlaku are, I forget, I want to say 37. There's like all these heads of clans that make up the Tlaku. And the Aslan Herate is not a single acting government like the Imperium would be. The Herate is made up of all these different clans, and essentially all these different clans do whatever they want to do. The only thing that really binds the clans on what they can or cannot do is their honor-bound system. And so the Tlaku are the 37 clans that make up the kind of... It's a council, but they don't rule. They make suggestions and things like that. There have been cases where the Tlaku said these 1 or 2 clans are dishonorable and we've had enough of their shit. And so everybody attacked those guys, and everybody attacked those guys. So they wield considerable power, but they would be the first to tell you, like, well, we can't intervene. The clans do what the clans do. And there is a counterpart to that, and I don't remember their name, but there's a counterpart to that acts within the Trojan Reach, basically where you guys are. And those two councils are sometimes at odds with one another. In fact, the Tlaku basically saying, we don't like that particular clan, everybody needs to beat up on them, is kind of how the Glorious Empire came out to be. Because the Glorious Empire told them to kiss their ass and went and did their own thing, and now there's all sorts of problems. But, so the Tlaku is not always successful in their endeavors. Having said that, you guys are dealing with all of these Iyhki, and they all come from different clans. And so you put this file on this guy's computer that basically said that this was an intelligence report from the Tlaku that basically said that Drinax had some kind of biological super weapon, and you put in a picture of this missile or torpedo that you had found when you were working with the lab ship. Now, this torpedo, it was a biological weapon, you know that. As far as, does it affect Aslan? Don't know. Because it was used by the Sindalian Empire on their own people. So, maybe it doesn't affect Aslan physiology at all. Who knows? It can't be good, right? And so, you're hoping that this guy's going to wake up or read this report before the meeting of the lords tonight at the Iyhki camp and kind of shy away from attacking Drinax. Meanwhile, you have also planted the seeds of information about trying to get them to go to sync. Specifically, there is Toiho the Brave, who is a member of the Kteiroa clan, and there is Iyhki Too-Eager, who is a member of the Kteiroa clan. Now, the Kteiroa and Hakir are nemesis. They are at war with one another. And so Iyhki does not like Toiho at all. And then, of course, there is Iyhki the Clever, and these guys all kind of make up. They're not clan lords, but they are the leadership of this Iyhki, and none of them can agree on anything. There's Rexar. Hello, Corey.
Say it's herding cats.
It's like herding cats. Yes, it is. It's exactly like that. So, as you are waiting, you can see overhead another Aslan ship come in, and this is a smaller ship. It is what is known as an Iyhki Show class scout, and you've seen this. You've seen these ships before, but just for shits and giggles, I shall show you again. Wow, that's interesting. I just did this and it was all here. I don't know. Hold on here. Like, I spent some time. How very strange. Well, I'm just going to throw it on the map and you can all see it. So, this is what an Iyhki Show scout looks like. Small 100-ton scout ship. Can easily be manned by a crew of one. It can also hold, 3 to 4, as long as they don't mind double bunking and sleeping in shifts. And you see this thing come in and land at the port, and it's still midday, so it's not going to be till around the campfires tonight that the clan heads really start to, or the Iyhki leaders start to rouse. And out of this Iyhki Show steps Rexar. So Rexar, you now have a ship.
Cool.
And excuse me. And these are the stats for your ship. And it is in the Ships of the Reach in Pirates of Drinax. I will get you a page number here as soon as we're done tonight. But this is the iHatei Show class scout. It is, like I said, 100 tons. Standard crew is 3, but usually it's just 1. And so Rexar has been away, and he has been down. So one of his father's clan's ships went missing, and his clan ended up going into a limited war kind of situation with the Glorious Empire. And they were successful, and they found the ship, and as reward for that, Rexar was granted this ship. Now,
I respect you so much now. I had to find you guys, and I have no idea how to fly.
I was going to say, he probably does not have any piloting skills whatsoever.
Listen, I thought you went beep, boop, boop, and then we were there. But
turns out it's a lot harder than that.
It's grew by 1.5. Me and my dog.
Right. Yes, and your lizard bird dog.
Yeah.
Or there was a pilot, but he got spaced halfway through.
Fucking asshole. Tell me how to do my job.
Took a walk. So in addition, Rexar, these guys have actually been palling around. Prince Kteiroa is here. He has joined the Iyhki camp, trying to, since you guys saved him more or less from his own execution, he has been trying to move past all of that and go back to finding land. And there is also Kteiroa, who is an outcast, who has kind of ingratiated himself into the court of the King of Drinax. And so Kteiroa really came with you guys and has been kind of acting as a go-between in a lot of ways. So as I said, it is, midday. You are in a tavern. Now, it's not all, the Iyhki camp is not all tents. There are some of these buildings that are what you would consider like prefabs, or basically cargo containers that they drop down, weld together, and build a little, those are the nicer places. And this is one such. It is a small bar run by a female Aslan. And you are drinking, they have Aua, which is a kind of herd animal that the Aslan like to eat. And drinking something called backfiring, which it has something to do with, it looks like it has something to do with like fermentation of perhaps milk from the Aua, but it's kind of like a beer. Anyways, it sounds hideous, but Aslan like it. And this is certainly not the best. This is more like the Steel Reserve version of backfiring that they would normally drink. And so, there are some platters. And because the Iyhki don't have a whole lot of money, the owner of the tavern here offers basically that you can run a tab. And so a lot of these she's obviously operating at a loss because a lot of these Aslan don't have shit. They're second sons with no land, so that kind of explains that. So, welcome back, Rexar.
Where you been?
The usual. I was going to give my 3 companions that I know a big hug all at the same time. Oh, it's so good to see you. Who are these other people? Why is there a dog here? Last one I met tried to shoot me. He actually stabbed me with an experimental needle.
No, that's true, he did.
Without asking,
How would we introduce these guys? I don't know. I guess you guys should introduce yourselves.
I am Bjorn. It is good to meet you. Yes, I'm a chef, human chef.
So Bjorn, and I don't know that Rexar would have ever met a sword worlder before, but Bjorn is a sword worlder. They are of Nordic descent.
Made of swords.
And
Yes, it is very uncomfortable.
Excellent. I know who I'm throwing at the enemy.
and then Josh, you can introduce Athaku.
Yeah, he's a real puny dog. Looks older than his true age, like he's been through a lot. But he kind of sniffs the air. This friend of yours.
Of course, he's cuddly.
Right. Did you laugh nicely?
I was gonna say I'm going to run over and give Rexar a really awkward hug, but I have a feeling like it would be very much sort of like jumping to give a hug and then just like the split second before reconsidering and then making it really awkward and weird, like I don't. Do we do this? I don't know.
Pick all three of you up, so don't worry.
Like aborting the mission at the last moment. Like, it's good to be real awkward and weird, but a way to express the enthusiasm for Rexar's return.
An air hug. It was supposed to be
kind of like
turned into an
pulling
air
back
hug.
at the last minute and being like, yeah, how's it going? Right on. Okay,
And
cool.
do the fist bump and someone else is like shaking hands and it's all, nothing ever works.
Exactly.
You back away, Rexar smells his armor and armpits. He's like, oh, right, I probably should have bathed after war.
So Josh, I don't know how deep into learning about Vargr you went, but you've described yourself as your Vargr as being smaller than the average. And unknown to, or unbeknownst to most humans, and especially Aslan, there are subspecies. There's subspecies of Aslan too, but from your description, it sounds like you are probably a Kokasha.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Okay, so Kokasha, as far as Vargr go, he's pretty rare because the subspecies is almost extinct. Males typically are 1.45 meters in height and weigh about 50 kilograms. So, compared to Luke's Vargr, Rexar, this is quite a bit smaller Vargr. So then the question is Bjorn and Athaku going to tell Rexar anything about what you're doing, or?
So my question to you, Chris, with the fact that, I'm such a high rank and investigator, is that something that would make me more known, or how does that work?
That's a very good question. So you gained your investigative skills, from what I understand, in the Imperium itself.
Correct.
So that social status would not apply here on Kteiroa, simply because the Aslan, they don't follow that. But that doesn't mean that if you were to describe yourself or what it is that you're doing, that doesn't mean that they'd understand it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's just that you're not going to be noticed, right off the bat. In fact, even in the Imperium, depending on where you're at, you may not be noticed right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'd all be kind of like drinking excessively because we put the information out there, and all we can do now is like wait to see how it goes over.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. So like probably just drunkenly explain it.
Yeah.
Well.
So you're chugging down Baki.
Milk beer. Yeah.
Now
This
somebody.
is absolutely disgusting.
It sure is.
Yeah, but it is highly alcoholic. So, you know, you don't know if it's supposed to taste like this. Rexar would be the first one to tell you that this is terrible Baki. But, I mean, you don't know. You have no frame of reference of what good Baki tastes like. So,
Give you the pig soul.
aside from Rexar, the one person here out of your party directly who has a little bit of influence here is Qing Shi. Qing Shi gets a +1 bonus to any of her social interactions because the fact that a human stood up for an Aslan and fought for his honor, the word has traveled far and wide. So any social actions that Qing Shi has is that she gets an automatic +1.
Right up until people know my shame that I rolled so badly that it was like totally a fake fight.
It doesn't, I mean,
people will be like, ooh, that's worse.
the Aslan, any Aslan's probably going to know that it was a fake fight from the get-go,
Okay.
simply because the nature of that duel, the executioner lost on purpose, and but it had to be done in order to show that Kteiroa was, re-upped in his honor. So, but the fact that you stood up for him as a human and put yourself out there for that, that's huge, as far as they're concerned.
Right on.
So you're sitting around drinking Baki. What is your next plan? Well, actually, I suppose I should give you a little bit more. Everybody make...
Maybe.
No, I'm sorry. Captain Beth, go ahead.
Maybe we need to think about what we're going to do if we fucked up and they go after Drinax anyway. Like, I don't have much of a plan for that, but just get it rolling around in your head and maybe someone will have a good idea.
Well, it's good that Rexar has come back because Rexar has a little bit of insight into why there's so many IHatei here. So the tale, Rexar's tale that he's learned is that, and I know I'm going to butcher these clan names. I always do. Clan Hteiroa and Clan Kteiroa are at war with one another. So originally these two clans, they had settled on a world called Ki, and Ki has a thin atmosphere, but there's a lot of water. And so the two clans decided that they were going to work together. And basically what they're doing is they're crashing asteroids into the planet to boil the oceans and thus release that into the atmosphere to thicken up the atmosphere and make it a more pleasant world to live on. However, they've been doing this for quite some time, and both clans got to the point where there was no more space. There was no more free land available. And so then they started to squabble with one another. There were some minor skirmishes, and that led to what is known as a Tolarian, which translated into Anglic or Golanglic roughly means a strictly limited war. But they couldn't have the war on Kei, because if they did that, they would be, potential to destroy everything that they had worked all these many, many decades to do. And so they pulled in a Erlatreus, which is he's kind of a neutral judge and an arbiter, and they decided to have this strictly limited war on a planet named a Koaft. Now, a Koaft is a hellhole. It is a hell planet. Everything on that planet is poisonous and trying to kill you. The atmosphere is poisonous and trying to kill you. And the agreement for this limited war was that they were not allowed to have any air assets, so no aerial bombardments, and it was only going to be infantry and light armor. So the two sides, the two clans, they dug their home base on a Koaft underground to keep out the poison, and it has been just a bloody war of trench fighting and light armor. The deal with this is that the war could only go on for 10 years. And at the end of 10 years, if it was at a draw, then both sides could pull in reinforcements. Somehow, the hold on here. So somehow, the Hakir found the Kteiroa's headquarters base and destroyed it, went in and wiped them out. And so the Kteiroa are now, it's obvious that they're going to lose. And so all of these Iyhki, with no place to go on Kei, have all been coming here because they're going to jump off of here into the Trojan Reach and take whatever they can grab. There are some options there. Now, the rumor that Rexar has heard is that let's see here. It's not good. The rumor that Rexar has heard is that the Erlatreus, Yao, it seems that it is likely that the Hakahir bribed him, and he gave them the access to the Kteiroa's headquarters. Now, if this is true, that's a huge violation of Aslan politics and honor. There's no real proof to that. That's just what Rexar has been told. That's what a lot of people believe. Now, with these two clans, with Kteiroa losing, the Erlatreus will likely be leaving a Koaft to go to Tyok and hold precedence over the declaration of victory for Hakahir. And, once that happens, then there's going to be more. Rexar was told that upwards of 20,000 Iyhki are going to be inbound to Kteiroa. So if you can change that outcome, that would be... If you could change that, and then the war would go over the 10 years, all of those Iyhki would go back, because then they could pull in reinforcements and continue their war. Does that make sense?
Yeah, whenever you try and fund one side of a war or pull for one or the other side, there's always weird unintended consequences. It's really hard to affect things the way that you want to.
That's true. In this case, though, if you were able to you wouldn't be picking one side over the other so much as taking the two sides and saying, hey, you guys can keep fighting. You know what I mean? You're not picking one or the other, just like, hey, you guys just go back to killing each other. We don't care.
Oh, I thought that the losing side, you had to empower them somehow to want to continue. That's what I meant.
No, so the war has to go on for 10 years, and if both sides, at the end of 10 years, if both sides are at a draw, then they can pull in reinforcements. If not, then the Haka here win, and they get Ki and kick all of the other clan off of their planet. And those 20,000 plus Iyhki warriors are going to end up coming here and probably jumping into Drinax.
Yeah. Sorry, I chuckled. I thought, do their divorces work like that too? At the end of 10 years, you can call in reinforcements.
Yeah, at the end of 10 years, you can call in reinforcements. They're very weird how they hold their wars.
That's the overtime rule.
Right. That's exactly it. Like, yeah, you can have the 12th man on the field if you go into overtime. It looks like you need one extra football player. So that's the information that Rexar has come back with. So do you want to use that as a contingency plan? Or
I'm going to think like a drunk person and say, okay, maybe we come up with a really awesome war anthem. And I'll spur them on. Let's write some lyrics.
War. What's it good for?
Yeah.
Everything.
Everything.
I have
As
no
I do love poetry, and songs are a form of poetry. So you're on a path. I don't know if it's the right one.
So I will say the use of putting that file on the computer with the possibility that Drinax has this bioweapon. Without knowing anything, you guys foreshadowed some future events in the campaign. I don't know how you did it, but it's like, yeah, well, yeah, there is some stuff coming up. So don't be surprised when you get to hear about this again for a third time.
We're just like, called it.
Oh my god, is that the thing where we make up a rumor and it ends up being true, but we weren't supposed to know?
We're like a bunch of middle school girls.
Yeah. And it's still
Started like, oh, so-and-so's pregnant. Then like,
Truly the best investigator in the universe.
So you guys spend the rest of the afternoon in this tavern drinking this alcoholic milk concoction. And, night starts to come and the fires are being lit around the camp. And these leaders, Iyhki the Clever, Iyhki Too-Eager, Toyo the Brave, and even old Elio, but old Elio he doesn't go up and stand on a soapbox or anything. He kind of stands near you guys. He's the old curmudgeon of the Aslan. Like, he is old. And they all start bickering and trying to get the crowd to join with them in one form or the other. And they evidently, Tia has found the file that you placed on his computer. And he has urged the others to, we don't, he tells them, we don't know if this rumor is even true, but I've shown you the photos. If there is a biological weapon, perhaps right now is not the time to mess with the humans of Drinax. You know that they're just looking for a chance to get even. Toyo, the Brave, he's a young upstart. He he says that this is wise. He says, I think that we should go and take Sync. Sync is going to be closer to a Koaft and Ki, and then, you know, my clan can use Sync as a jumping off point if there is a second limited war.
Okay, and from behind the crowd, my drunken self, I'm going to be like, yeah, that's a great idea. I think that's excellent. Let's do a Sync. I can't wait to do the Sync. Just like from running around the crowd, just like just trying to, like, you know, hype it up as a plan.
Iyhki Too-Eager doesn't like the idea of Sync. He thinks, he says, what's the point of going to Sync? There's not going to be a second limited war. Hakai here has already committed treason by bribing the Erlatreus, and my clan, the Kteiroa, are going to be decimated. We should strike Drinax before they can use their bioweapon. Iyhki the Clever, who is part of the Tekisto clan, he doesn't really have a horse in the game for, you know, Ki and a Koaft. He just kind of wants land, and he thinks it would be wise. He kind of agrees with Iyhki. He thinks that it would be wise to do a first strike kind of situation and take Drinax out of the picture. If they do it first strike, they could take over Drinax, and they don't have to worry about a bioweapon.
But if you're wrong and they get the virus out, none of our warriors will have vulnerable weapons. They'll die of a disease.
Ooh. Rexar, you can make a Soch plus Persuasion, and you can add your territory to that. Oh, what is your territory currently, Rexar?
My territory +4.
You can add 1 to that. You now have a small holding on the planet Air. It probably would have been worth more than 1, except Air is kind of a shitty planet. But
11.
Okay.
Air is also under heavy assault at this point.
Yes.
Correct?
Correct.
Oh, back to where I go.
Yeah, Air is under heavy assault, and yeah, it's under heavy assault. The Glorious Empire is trying to retake it.
What are you doing here?
Damn it, I had just planted so much catnip.
So the Toyo the Brave points to Rexar, and he says, yes, see? If our warriors are ill, we won't be able to attack Drinax. But the crowd, the motions of the crowd seem to be going towards Iyhki the Clever and Iyhki Too-Eager. The crowd is ranting and raving about taking Drinax.
Shit. I'm a human doctor. I don't think I can influence much. Qing Shi's the only one that can influence them out of our group besides.
They're still big and heavy.
Right?
So, Iyhki doesn't want to defend their holdings. If everybody takes off for Sync, he's the one that's got the settlement there. He doesn't care if the other guys take over.
Well, Iyhki Too-Eager, right, they do have a settlement on Sync, but the Kteiroa clan doesn't really view Sync. The reason why they kind of abandoned it is just there's nothing for them. It's not a viable position for them. The land is muddy and swampy, and yeah, it'd be great for hunting, but as far as like a jumping off point to other worlds, Sync isn't really that attractive. And he's already figuring that the Kteiroa clan has lost the war on Akoaft. And so he's more eager to just hit Drinax and take, fresh land.
Okay.
Even if it is a dust ball that is partially irradiated from getting hit by asteroids.
So we need to convince these people to go back to war.
Basically, yeah. That it's not lost. We need to convince Iyhki that the war is not lost, and therefore there's a point to head that direction.
For the new guy here, I'm just looking for the 15-year-old blonde girl. That's all I care about. What is our stake? I'm saying as the party, what is our stake in this?
We've been tasked to keep the Aslan. One of the primary missions of the group is to keep the Aslan away from Drinax.
So
Yeah,
So like the grounds for our sort of charter is that we give 10% to the King of Drinax and we keep the Aslan out. And with that, we have like a mark of note.
So these guys are effectively agents of the Kingdom of Drinax, which the Kingdom of Drinax isn't much. Their planet has been bombed into a dust ball. All they have is their floating palace. The people that could be saved off the planet were put onto the floating palace. And so the King Oleb has come up with this. Him and his daughter, Princess Rao, have come up with this idea, which these guys have been doing for the past year. They gave them a writ of mark, which they're not pirates; they're privateers. And his idea is
government-sanctioned.
Right. Yeah, government-sanctioned pirates. And they gave them the best ship that they've got, which is only 200 tons, but they gave them the best ship that they've got and cut them loose into the Trojan Reach. So effectively, these guys are doing both privateering and kind of diplomacy. Each of these planets in the Trojan Reach that they go to, they kind of try to talk to the governor or administrator or whoever is president of the planet or in charge and tries to get them to join the Kingdom of Drinax. And so the kingdom is trying to basically reforge the Empire of Sindal with Oleb on the throne. And the benefit of doing that, once everything's all said and done and the Kingdom of Drinax is reformed and seen as an actual political power, these guys will be given titles and lands. They might be made barons of an entire planet. I mean, the world is their oyster. And of course, they're able to catch a whole bunch of loot in the process. Now, the likelihood, by the time that this is all said and done, their pirate fleet will likely become the Sindal Imperial fleet for Drinax. So, these guys aren't really too important right now, but they're working towards it.
Right. They're in the beginning stages of a new startup being built from the ashes of an old company.
Exactly. And so that's kind of their reason for wanting to keep the Aslan from taking over Drinax. Your thought on it is you've seen you've seen star charts of Drinax. You're like, who cares? Let the Aslan have. Screw those guys. But yeah, that's the situation you're finding yourself in.
Oh, geez. Okay.
These guys
I
are
th-
leaving one war to start another.
Can we insinuate that they're too cowardly to finish the war?
I'm about to say that.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay.
So, turning tail and running was the Aslan way when things got too difficult.
Oh shit. Who? So are you saying that to Iyhki Too-Eager, or are you saying that to Iyhki the Cleaver or the Clever?
Whoever seems to be holding the most sway over the crowd right now.
That would be Iyhki Too-Eager.
You're too eager.
Make a Soch plus Yeah, it is Soch plus persuasion check, and you can throw in your territory.
Oh, that's really good. But I have -1 to social. 15.
Okay, so Iyhki, when you say this, he is turning and grabbing a mug of Baki, and when you say that, he slams the mug down. You guys see Iyhki's ears go back, and he turns to Rexar and he says, Who are you to insult me, whelp?
I am Rexar the Destroyer. Stand to me if you stand against me, and you'll lose your ears.
He says, I challenge.
Yeah.
I accept.
We
2
could
claws
totally do
only,
that.
no armor.
Well, which is normal. That would be a normal duel. And Iyhki, so your insult's pretty grave, as far as Aslan pride and honor goes. And Iyhki, comes out into the crowd, and a territorial comes up, and he helps you off with your armor. And territorial looks to Iyhki and he says, so I assume that the standard practice of going to first blood is acceptable. And Iyhki says, no, I claim Wakafa.
What does that mean?
Wakafa is a duel to the death.
Which isn't as bad as to the pain.
Right?
Like a baby to it, didn't you?
Well, Bjorn is going to go running around the camp saying, fight! Well, for a reason. I want to get everybody that I can up there so that then I can go start rummaging through other people's belongings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Good idea.
So, Bjorn, make
I will
a...
join in said festivities, Bjorn.
Okay.
I poke you in the shoulder, I give you the rib thing and go and give you the high sign, and we're all trying to get everybody excited because we all know that chaos is the best environment for investigation.
Exactly.
So there's so many Aslan here. So the one thing about Kteiroa is that there are 3 Aslan males to every 1 female. And so that's enough to make them edgy anyways. Normal demographics are, 3 to 5 females for every 1 Aslan. So these guys are running around. They're not getting laid. They've got shitty food, and they've got no land. So
Fuck each other. I don't.
So they're all on edge anyways. Make a...
It's the spiny beans.
So since Athaku is assisting in this, Bjorn, make a... in this case, make your choice of either intellect or education plus deception. Well, it wouldn't necessarily be deception. It could be a persuasion roll. Your choice. And you get to make it a boon. So roll 3 dice and take the 2 highest.
Even more fun.
All right, so persuasion, and I'm going to base it off of either education or intellect, right? That's what you
Your
said?
choice, yes.
Sure. And I'll be rolling intellect and deception.
Okay.
All right. And let's see what we get. So I got a 13.
Okay. What did Iyhki get?
An 11.
Okay. So you are both successful in drawing more Aslan are coming from their individual campfires, and they're all goading around. It is hard. There are so many people here. It is hard to get it's hard to wrap your mind around how many are here, but you're estimating that this camp could be anywhere from 50 to 75,000 Aslan. This Iyhki camp is already really, really too big, which is why Drinax was nervous. And so, there's just throngs of these guys crowding around Rexar and Kteiroa as they square off against Iyhki. Beth and Keith and Ching Shi, what are the 3 of you doing?
I kind of want to use telepathy to send fear to Iyhki the Too-Eager. Like I want to send as much make him kiss himself fear as possible, so that he's not as eager as he wants everyone to believe. Like I would, if I rolled well enough, I'd like him to chicken out after saying to the death, and then I roll telepathy. And
So
he's like, never mind.
you guys have been here long enough, and you would know. You've seen a number of duels. I mean, these duels happen on a daily basis. There's at least 5 or 6 of these duels a day. Aslan males and their perception of rudeness and whatnot is, they are touchy. You would know, though, if you were to be found out that you were trying to do this, Rexar would lose a ton of honor.
I don't want anyone to know that I'm cheating. I just want to cheat. I think you misunderstood my goal. My goal is not to be caught. It's just
How do you get caught being psychic anyway? Or psionic? I mean.
He didn't feel like
Well, I mean, it really depends on what she rolls.
right.
Oh, okay.
And if they had a psionic ally with telepathy, if I use it, it's obvious to anyone else who has that psionic power and it's being used.
don't like psionics.
Yeah, Aslan don't generally like psionics, so that's probably not. I mean, it's not outside the realm of possibility since this is Iyhki. But
So, I'm gonna give Rexar, since we've flown together for a while, I'm gonna give him the do you need brain?
All that to
Do
do
you
with
need me to plant fear in his brain or something like that? Like, do you need my psionic help? Little eyebrow waggle. That's like, or are you good?
Oh, there's
And I'll leave it up to Rexar,
psionics
because I don't want him
years
to
as
lose
well.
it. If it's his honor that could be lost, I don't want to risk it without his permission.
Yeah, I'm gonna think back so you can hear me and say I don't need psionics to instill fear in this world.
Okay, it's your call because it's your honor.
But I appreciate your offer.
what about
And I
Beth
thought-
and Keith?
Well, I'm just hammered and cheering for him.
Definitely. It's time for side bets.
He's back that we're wasted.
You know there's all sorts of side betting going on right now.
So And-
he's a compulsive gambler.
So it's funny that you bring up side betting. So it is considered dishonorable, but
Damn.
but being Iyhki, they're doing it anyways.
Okay, let's throw down some money. Let's do some
Bored beyond belief, nothing to do, get into fights all day. You know they're gambling.
Right.
That's right.
Exactly.
How much money am I putting down? Okay, I don't have any pencil.
This guy's like a military leader, right?
He's too eager though. He's probably gonna fuck this up. Betty guess.
So the territorial tells you. The territorial tells you a little bit about Iyhki as you're getting ready for combat. He tells you that the Kteiroa plan to send more warriors to the war in a Koaf, and Iyhki would have led the reinforcements. For the last 10 years, he's trained to lead his clan's forces in a new and glorious offensive against their Hakahir rivals. Then came the news of the disaster when the enemy located the secret fortress of the Kteiroa, and it became clear that the war was lost. Iyhki took his trusted followers and his ship, an 800-ton escort, currently parked in geostationary orbit above the camp, and came to Kteiroa. His followers assume that Iyhki wants to find a new territory to conquer, but secretly, Territorial believes that he just may want a good death.
Wait, do we get his ship if Rexar kills him then?
Rexar would get everything that Iyhki currently possesses if he wins.
Hell yeah, you can do it, buddy.
In this dueling, does he need a second?
I'm gonna mentally think to Chi and say, by the way, if I lose, don't let them take my dog.
Noted. I got you, brother.
So in the case of like children, now when I say that he would get, let's say that there are wives involved, the wives would have to accept Rexar. If if either Rexar or the wives don't accept him, then the belongings are split equally. If there are children, the option then, of course, is to you can either take the children and raise them as your own, or you can pretty much put them up for adoption and abandon them. This may lead the wives to not want to partner. So, you know, that could be a touchy thing as well.
Fuck, how many wives does this guy have? I don't want wives. I don't want abandoned children.
Well,
Aslan probate here.
wives aren't necessarily a bad thing, because remember, female Aslan are the technicians and the financiers and the business people. Yeah, they're the scientists, things like that. So, you know,
They can
All
keep
about
the
that
ship
natural.
nice.
you might be more attracted to Iyhki, but that doesn't mean that the wives are useless.
He's still gonna die.
All right.
So Beth and Keith, what are you up to? I mean, I know Beth is just being drunk and
Yeah, that's white girl wasted and
Do I get to use my leadership skill if I'm drunk? I probably don't.
you could.
Dick is that.
This guy's got typing, which is
There's a
like
long-
weirdly apt. But
So actually, that's an interesting question.
There's a long history of drunk leaders.
You're gonna order him to win the battle.
Right?
give him a beat talk and
Just command him. I command you to win this duel.
Yes,
It's your order.
I will demote you if you lose. So, actually, that's really interesting. So, yeah. So you can go ahead and Beth, you can make a leadership check. You're going to be at -2 because you're drunk. Leadership plus your choice, either intellect, education, or social, according to this.
Okay. 7.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
So Beth comes over to Rexar and she's like, okay, this is where you gotta hit him. And she's like, pointing out, he's got weaknesses here and here. Look at the way he's standing. And so Rexar is going to be at a -1 for his initial attack.
No. Can't you tune me out?
All right, Cap. Should I trust you with my life?
Oh no, don't do that.
Actually, now, Rexar's not going to take bad advice, so Iyhki will have a +1 on his first attack. Keith, anything that you have up your sleeve?
Maybe hold Captain back.
Oh my god.
Shut her up.
Yeah.
Something to me.
Stop helping, Captain. Stop helping.
Oh my gosh. I was just gonna watch. I have difficulty figuring out what to do to contribute in this situation right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, don't do what I do. Don't be like me.
All right. So, Rexar, roll your initiative. Now, initiative is you roll 2d and you add your choice of either dexterity or intellect, plus any combat mods that you might have augmented, but I don't think Rexar has any. And you want to get, and it is the effect of what you're aiming for. So it is an average check, either dex or intellect. And so what'd you get, Rexar?
I got a 9.
Okay, so you're at +1. Iyhki. Well, that's... Oh, I see.
So, give it up. Be real bad.
Okay. Iyhki is at -2. So, Rexar. Rexar, how do you want to open up your fight? Do claws only.
Do claws only.
I think you should use dew claws.
Yeah, I'm gonna rush him and bring my dew claw right across his chest.
Okay. Hold on here. I think he can probably attempt to parry. Close combat may attempt to parry an opponent's melee attack as a reaction. In so doing, they will inflict their melee skill as a negative DM to the attacker's rolls. So he's going to try to parry. Oh, that's not good.
It's strength plus my melee natural, right?
Right.
Okay.
So you actually get a +1 because his parry was so bad.
Oh boy.
Things are looking up.
7 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1. 12.
Okay.
I don't know how to math.
Oh, heart.
Okay. So, oof, brutal.
So 1d6 plus 2 for the dew claw.
Yeah. So you hit. So 1d6 plus 2 plus 4.
So 2 plus 2 is 4. That's 8 damage.
Okay. Okay, so he takes that. And he, as a free action, tells you that you are a coward for using augmented dew claws, and attempts to go low and slash. If you would like, you can parry.
I'll parry. So is it just I use melee attack and try to...
Correct. So it'd be melee plus either your strength or dex, and then the effect is what is subtracted from his roll. He's already at a -1 because he tried to parry.
That is 8 total on the attempt to parry.
Okay. So 0. And he hits for a 12.
I'm fine.
That's interesting. They didn't put his dew claw damage. What does a regular dew claw do? Is it
1d6.
okay? Okay. Plus his strength, though. Oh, wait. 8 points of endurance damage. Well, 8 points of damage. Comes off your endurance first.
Still above 0.
Well, you're doing better than he is. All right.
He is.
So,
He is.
Rexar, you attempted to parry, so you have a -1 because you took a reaction.
Does unarmed do just 1d6?
Correct.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Shoot
Well,
my
it's one.
claw.
It's 1d6 plus your strength or dex modifier, whichever.
Would that count as melee natural?
No, it would count as melee unarmed.
Okay, I have 1 in that, so. Upon hearing that, I'm going to use my reaction to say, fine, and sheath my dew claw and just punch him in the jaw.
Okay, go for it.
Ooh, that's real good.
So, for Josh, who's never done combat yet, combat involves you get either a significant action and a minor action. As your minor action, you can use a minor action to move up to 6 meters. Significant action would be making an attack, something like that. Alternately, you could take 3 minor actions, so you can move 18 meters. You can take as many reactions as you want, but for every reaction that you take, you're at -1 on your next turn. Does that make sense? I mean, it's pretty simple. So what'd you get?
11.
Okay, so 1d plus your strength modifier plus 3.
Ooh. 11. I rolled a 6 plus 2 plus 3.
Rip his face.
Ooh.
Face off.
Uh,
No mercy. Cobra Kai. I'm super into this.
Says the guy who is rifling through his tent right now.
yeah, we're going to get to you guys in just a moment. Okay. Ouch. That took some of the wind out of his sails. You hit him so hard he's like shaking off, and he decides to swing wildly with his dew claw. And he misses with a 6 total. Rexar, what are you going to do?
Gonna look down at him and say, "This is the result of trading all your life." And then I'm gonna slam my both arms down over his head.
Oh, shit. Okay. Rather than kill him with your dew claw, you're just going to beat him to death.
He called me a coward for using it. So naturally, I have to one-up him.
Show us his brain.
I'm pulling for you to drag this fight out longer.
I don't have to be the one that sheds it or spills it.
9
There's all
to
the
hit,
blood.
by the way.
That's a hit with +1 to damage. So you're unarmed plus strength +1.
Yes, yes. +2. 6.
Okay. Well, he's still up. Oddly enough. God, this is going to suck. In fact, I think I need different dice because these dice should go probably in the jail.
You got me good, but I got 10 endurance.
He's going to uppercut with his dew claw. Motherfucker.
Every time, every curse coming out, I'm like, yeah.
No, he gets a total of 3. He gets a total of 3 and kind of falls forward and catches himself on the ground. Rex,
Yeah, I just want to...
I mean, you. This is going to be it. You're going to end this.
Head stomp.
Should I kill him, or should I...
He wants to die because he has a ship.
Yeah, he was too eager.
Right there in his name.
Yeah, he was way too eager.
Use a wrestling move here. Do the flying elbow thing.
Yeah, just do like just like
What's this? It's Rexar with a steel chair! I'm just gonna grab him by the throat and throw him into the nearest set of tables and chairs.
Okay. Okay, so go ahead and make a grapple check, and it'll be opposed. He only got a 4. So to do a grapple check, it is your melee unarmed plus your strength, opposed by his.
Got a 9.
So you reach over and grab him by the throat and pick him up. Go ahead and, well, he is going to try to slash at your wrist. And he fails with a 7. So you can go ahead and throw him into the tables, if you would like.
Throwing.
That's definitely going to be a athletics dex check.
+1 to dex. Okay, so I rolled a 6 and a 1, +1, that's an 8.
Well, he goes flying, so roll 1d6 for damage.
3.
He hits the table hard enough that his head hits the edge of the table and you see his skull crack open. And he is laying there
Ooh,
lifeless.
I knew he could do it. Way to go, Rexar. What a great way to come back into the fold.
I know. Welcome back, Rexar.
I want to look at everyone around me and say, cowards on the menu, boys.
So you see a number of people in the crowd, or a number of Aslan in the crowd, that are for the humans in the Vargur, you see a number of people in the crowd. Their ears are they're not back, they're laying to the side like they're worried, scared, sad, not sure what's going to happen, because you just killed one of the top leaders here at the camp. Meanwhile, while the fight is going on, Bjorn and Athaku, what are you guys doing?
Oh yeah, we're digging for data on anything that we've got suspicions about and was difficult to get to regarding the blonde-haired daughter of the governor or whatever the heck we're doing here. Let me look at my notes.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're looking for evidence that maybe these Ihatei were involved. In other words.
Yes. Correct.
Okay. Both of you can make intellect plus investigation checks.
Yeah. That is a 13, good sir.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, looks like I got the same thing.
So.
Oh no! Wait a minute.
It's like we know what we're doing, Bjorn.
Wait, it didn't roll. I had to click something. Oh yeah, I did get a 13. There we go.
Okay. So are you going through Iyhki's tent? Is that, or are you just?
That's probably one of the first places we would go, just because we figure that
He's occupied.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys get into Iyhki's tent. Bjorn, you find, neither one of you find anything to do that the Ihatei here had anything to do with this girl. You're not finding any reference to the girl at all. However, Bjorn, you find some information on a portable computer that is up and running. That you bring Athaku over, and it shows that Iyhki and his group, the clan, the Kteiroa clan, had been tracking a group of mercenaries from the Glorious Empire that seemed to have done some pirating along the Sindalian Main. And you're seeing that there were a number of ships, a couple of which seem to match the information that you're seeing. And you're also seeing that these ships also purchased cargo from other pirate vessels. Namely, they purchased from a pirate named Hroll Irontooth. Now, you guys don't know anything about... Bjorn and Athaku don't know who Hroll Irontooth is. But Chingshi, Rexar, Beth, and Keith have run into this guy before. He is an Aslan. And he is a big Aslan pirate. In fact, he's one of the Lords of Thieves.
Interesting.
All right, so this Hroll Irontooth guy, Aslan pirate, is connected to.
It looks like Towau, the clan, had intelligence that Hroll Irontooth, and it mentions Aslan words for coward and outcast, and basically he's just filth. He's the worst. Being a pirate is like the worst you could. It's bad enough you're an outcast, but then to become a pirate, you are at the bottom of the scum bucket. And so,
Rexar.
Rexar's a privateer. There is a fine delineation, but Hurl Irontooth is looked down upon verily, and they have intelligence reports that not only has this glorious Empire mercenary group interacted with Hurl Irontooth, but they have hired on with him to do a number of jobs.
Interesting. Okay.
Works for me. So we need to find this Kroll Irontooth. We also want to, we're keeping track of what ship names or descriptions that have been operating in the area when the girl was kidnapped or along the path of this vessel that she jumped ship on. So anything that we can find. We're looking for breadcrumbs, and we've got this Kroll Irontooth's name.
Yep.
Ching-Shi,
that's our next lead.
Ching-Shi, Beth, and Keith make an intellect plus recon checks.
Five.
I got 9. 10.
So, I'm sorry, what did Keith get?
5.
Okay. Ching-Shi and Beth got a 9. So Ching-Shi and Beth in her drunken state, kind of points, and Ching-Shi, you turn and you look, you see one of, the fight is still going on, and you turn and you see one of Iyhki's bodyguards going to his tent.
Is he gonna get the keys for the spaceship for Rexar?
Well, this bodyguard is wearing he's wearing flex armor, and he's armed with a Yahil auto rifle, and he saw Bjorn and Athaku go into that tent.
Mm-hmm. You muted, Ching-Shi.
Carrie, you're muted.
I'm gonna shout out as loud as I can to try and get his attention / notify the guys in the tent that he's coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't go.
Hey,
You're not supposed to go in
why
the
are
tent.
you going to the tent? Your dude's behind you. This is the fight still going on.
Okay.
It's dishonorable to clean out the tent of the guy that's just about to lose.
So
Yeah.
there are
We need you.
thousands of Aslan out here all cheering. And,
Loud, though.
for this fight, it's a cacophony of noise. I mean, you could probably body surf if you don't mind getting stabbed by dew claws. So Athaku and Bjorn make a intellect plus recon check, but you have to make it at a bane. You need to roll 3 and take the 2 lowest dice.
Rather than shout, I take it back then. Rather than shout, can I send a thought?
You could do that. Who do you want to send it to, Bjorn or Athaku?
I'm gonna send a thought to Athaku that company's coming, and he's got to bust ass out of there.
Okay, go ahead and make your psi check.
And 12.
Okay, so Athaku, you hear in your head, "Run, Luke, run."
Bjorn, we must go.
Yeah, do I just add psi?
Yeah, you would add your psi to. Well, actually,
Like psi and intellect, because that would make it 14.
no, it's more than that. So
Or do I have to like weigh him? Because isn't there like it's a certain number of points per pound or something like that? I don't weigh that.
well, you're just sending a message. You're not lifting
Heavier
it.
one, so that I can send the message to the lighter one.
So 228. I am looking for. So your send thoughts is part of telepathy. How many ranks in telepathy do you have?
I don't know how many ranks until I just know that I have telepathy and clairvoyance and awareness.
So they're probably all at 0. So it would be your Psi plus telepathy, which is at 0. So it's just Psi.
Okay. Then it's 12.
Okay, well, that's still, I mean,
Yeah, still.
I mean, why are
good?
you only needed like what, an 8?
No, I needed 10.
Okay, well, you're still 2 over. So, Athaku, you get a message, somebody's on their way, and you can tell that it's Ching Shi, but you hear it in your head, like really loud.
And since we just met, that would probably be startling.
Yeah, they're very startling. I'm just kind of look around, like, Bjorn, did you hear that?
No. They're all screaming everywhere.
Well, we've been told that we need to get the hell out of here, so let's do so.
So, are you going out the front, the entrance of this tent, or are you going to make an exit? What are you doing?
We're going to make an exit.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And I'm taking, since that was a portable device in my hands while we were looking, it's staying in my hands.
Okay. So, I would imagine that one of you or both of you have a knife or something, right?
Blade and just...
Okay, so you cut the exit.
As stealthy of an area as possible, trying to make it unnoticed.
Okay.
If possible.
So in this case, go ahead and make a Dex plus stealth check.
I mean, this is typical, investigator.
Yeah.
When the
Josh gonna roll.
Yeah, this is what we do, man. We're getting info.
You got a 5.
I sure did.
Okay. So both you're just like, I'm gonna make this as stealthy as possible, and you cut a big rip in the back of the tent. And you both slip out of the tent. Both of you can make Dex plus stealth checks, and you get to make them at a boon because it's in the shadows. There's a whole lot of cacophony going on. So Dex plus stealth at boon. So roll 3 and take the 2 highest.
Let's see, Dex plus stealth. So I've got nothing on stealth, so I'm going to be, normally it'd be a Dex roll, and it'd be -3, but since I have Jack of all trades 1, it's -2, right?
Correct.
Let's see.
8.
Shit, Carl was paying attention when we played this game on the one shot. So you got an 8.
And I got a 7.
Okay. So this burly bodyguard in flex armor steps in with his Yaheel auto rifle and immediately sees this cut in the back of the tent. Ching Shi, Beth, and Keith, what are you guys doing?
All I
I'm
can think
thinking
is
in my head, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, hoping she hears me.
Prank caller! Prank caller!
Shouting out to them, I'm assuming like if we see it, we're going that way.
Right.
Yeah, we're heading that way.
I mean, whether we manage to get there before the guard or not, we're headed in that direction.
Okay.
I don't stand and just puke everywhere, probably, at this point. I've been drinking that disgusting milk shit, like, all day.
That's true. That is true.
I was lactose intolerant.
Maybe I have an escape somehow.
You what now?
Maybe that helps them escape somehow. Do they care if you puke on their shoes? Will that stop an Aslan in their tracks? Or are they cleanly?
Maybe.
Maybe. I'm not doing a whole lot of helping today. This is my day off, god damn it. I'm just gonna be a fuck up this whole episode, and the next time
I'm here Drink rancid milk and kick ass. And I'm all
And I'm all out of rancid milk. Okay, so Ching-Shi and Keith, you make it to the tent first. Beth is close behind you.
like walking with puke on your face and I'm running. I'm gonna get you.
So what's the improvised weapon damage for projectile vomiting?
Yeah, head towards the thing. Yeah. All right.
You made it a difficult terrain. Difficult terrain.
Chemical weapons.
So I will tell you that's actually no joke. So in high school, yes, high school, we went out and we were getting shitty, and between 40s of Old English 800, we also had this concoction that we just basically called Nectar, and Nectar basically started with a fifth of Southern Comfort 100 proof, and then it might also include like strawberry wine coolers and
We called that jungle juice.
well, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it was, and so we were drinking that shit all night, and this girl that was like maybe 4'10" and maybe weighed 75 pounds got shit faced on it, and she was in the back seat of my car. I had a Volkswagen Rabbit, and driving down Marine Drive, she stuck her head out the window and puked, and it, because of the draft, it went out the back window and splattered on the rear hatchback window. And I'm like, God damn it. And of course, it was a 76 Rabbit, so my rear windshield wiper didn't work. And so it sat there overnight. And the next day,
Etched it.
it did. It etched the glass where she had puked. No.
Wow.
Yeah, it was totally acid splash. I went over it, and I'm like, this window's ruined. Like, there's nothing I can do about this.
She's a xenomorph. That's all that happened.
Yes, right.
Did you see Jaws within Jaws shoot out right there?
Right. Well, what really got me was like, how can such a small person puke so much? I mean, not that a rabbit's a really big vehicle, but holy shit, she was tiny. I don't understand how this happened. Okay, so Keith, Ching-Shi, and Beth roll initiative, and you are, Beth, you are at -2.
Oh no. Let's react to it. I'm going last.
Oh no.
Chris, what do we add for initiative?
So it is your choice of either intellect or dexterity.
It's not like it matters. Oh my god, it's so bad.
What happens if I'm stupid and slow? Well, you know.
Apparently I'm puking on my shoes too. I haven't been drinking, but I'm a sympathetic vomiter, so I saw Captain puke, and then I started puking, and it set off a puke.
There's a puke reaction. So,
Yes.
oh, you're at -3? Wow, okay.
Yeah, I rolled a 3.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. I'm barfing too.
Those backballs need to roll as well.
Well, maybe. Hold on just a second here. Yeah, probably. Hold on. I'll put you on the board here. I was trying to decide how that was going to work out, but yeah, I think you're right. So, Bjorn. There's Bjorn and Asaku. Yeah, Bjorn and Athaku can also roll for initiative. 2d6 plus either your intellect or your dexterity, your choice.
Rolled a.
Bjorn, what'd you get?
Sorry. Athaku got a 9.
So that means you are at +1. And you can click on your initiative and you can put in that number yourself. Just put a 1.
Okay.
And Bjorn got a 12, so that's a
Holy shit.
1 or 2.
That's a +4.
It is. Oh, it's not the modifier. It's how far off from 8 you are.
Correct.
Okay.
In either
You
direction.
apparently climbed up and over the tent. You went out the back. You shimmied up the roof of the tent and down the other side so that you'd be there first.
Right?
Well done. Impressive.
And
No,
Athaku got
I've got line of sight.
1.
Just means my reflexes are fast, but it doesn't mean I'm there.
So you guys stealthed around the tent and you see the group follow this guy into the tent. Bjorn, what would you like to do? You're standing outside on the side of this tent. And you can see, of course you can see shadows moving around. You could tell which one is the Aslan through the shadows.
Okay, so I have this computer device in my hands. I've got the
Correct.
the iPod. The iPod is in my hands.
Well, it's a laptop.
Oh, is that big? Man,
Yeah.
I thought this was like not.
No, this is a portable computer. It's like a, like a Surface Go.
So I'm going to make up stuff. Seeing a very nearby trash can.
Okay.
I dump it in the trash can so that it's not there, and I will dive for cover and fumble out my laser.
Okay. You're dumping this thing in the trash can. It's not really a trash can. It is a pile of trash. Make a Dex plus Deception check to try and stash this in there. Well, yeah, you can make Dex plus Deception.
All right. Where's that go? And it looks like it's a 9.
Okay. Athaku, what are you doing? Like I said, you can see shadows through the tent. There's a light on, a small lantern on in the tent. So you can see shadows in the tent.
Okay, so I will pull out my laser carbine.
Oh shit, here we go.
And drop to the ground, like just fully prone, like sniper style.
Okay.
And just kind of scan the area through my hollow sight.
Okay, so are you looking for... So this is your minor action. So you drop to the ground, and they're looking through your hollow sight. Are you looking for any ads, like if there's more bodyguards coming, or to see if anybody else noticed them?
Yep. So I want to keep an eye on the bodyguard that is there that we know of, but I would like to kind of scan the area to see if anybody was following him as well.
Okay. Make a intellect plus recon check.
Okay. Oh, that's a nice roll. That is a 13.
Okay. You don't see anybody else coming in. At this point, you see that Rexar has switched to smashing this guy's face with his just bare fists rather than using a dew claw. And you can kind of see that you're laying on the ground and you can see between these Aslan's legs, you can see this fight that's going on, and Rexar's just pummeling this guy.
And out of me comes a, I guess he's not that bad, Oliphant.
The Aslan bodyguard turns and sees Ching-Shi, Keith, and behind them Beth. Beth is retching at this point.
I'm holding Beth's hair.
You're holding Beth's
I'm like patting
+2
her
for
on the back, like
good distraction.
The Aslan bodyguard, for his minor action, drops his Yahil auto rifle and pops his dew claws. And he looks at you and he points at Ching-Shi and he says, "I'm going to enjoy killing you. Stupid humans, always meddling in Aslan affairs. I'm going to destroy you."
Holy shit, man.
what a dick.
Keith Clark, what would you like to do? So this guy took 3 minor actions. He dropped his auto rifle, he popped his dew claws, and he steps in to melee range with Ching-Shi.
Well, I can't let him just attack Ching-Shi, so I've got to, let's see.
He went melee, so
Yeah, I think
where
melee is the right way to go in this case.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, so I'm going to pull out my sword. I have an officer sword, and I will swing at him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do it.
All right.
So I will tell you, laser weapons aren't nearly as loud as you might think. So the noise that a laser weapon's going to make, of course, there's going to be a power up for the battery, but the biggest sound is that snap. And what the snap is it is actually the air collapsing in on itself because the beam has actually ionized everything in between it and the target. And of course, the target yelling, but I'm on fire.
Where did this hole in my chest come from?
But we always, when I played Alternity, we got into, oh, well, I've got a laser, carbine. Okay, so on full auto, what does that sound like? Snap, snap, snap. Have you ever heard an actual industrial laser? It's snap, 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 snap. That is a pulse laser right there.
So I got a 12.
That is a hit. With a +4 to your damage. Don't forget to put your strength modifier into that damage as well.
Oh, okay. You said +4?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, you got him pretty good.
That is 15.
Holy shit. Okay, so...
Ow.
All right, hold on here. I got to spread this out. Oof. So, Keith comes in and just stabs with the Sindalian officer sword, gets right in between the plates for the combat flex, and hits... Oh, wait, I forgot. He has armor.
It's me.
That's still not good.
It's the ceremonial.
I weakened it with my vomit.
But yeah,
We affected him with our boots, like we did that one time.
he comes in right, but he finds the perfect spot. He finds the perfect spot in between these plates and slashes, and his blade comes out. Half of it is wet with blood. This guy's been hit. Beth, the vomitous, what would you like to do?
I'm going to use my drunken master style on him.
Amen.
With the, let me see. Shit, do I even have that?
Having worked as a DJ and a bouncer in a bar, drunken style is a thing. Trying to anticipate what that motherfucker's going to do is hard as shit.
So yeah, I'm going to use unarmed melee, I guess, because I don't want to. I'm probably going to be at disadvantage to some degree, and I don't want to have like a knife or a gun out and accidentally hurt one of my friends.
So you're just going to hit him? I mean, you could pull out a knife. I mean, you're not going to be at Bane, but you're at -2 to everything you do because you're drunk.
Okay, but if I roll snake eyes, won't I? I won't. I don't know.
You'll probably just embarrass yourself or drop the knife. I mean, if you want to pull a blade, that's fine.
Okay, let's do my blade. Not very good. So 3, yeah, I didn't. There's no way.
Now you go to stab and you're like, you son of a bitch, and you go to stab and your blade just bounces off of his combat flex. Ching Shi.
I promise I'll be competent next session.
Hey Ching Shi, what are you doing?
You gotta sober up. Okay, so nobody's using guns because we're afraid of drawing attention. But the fight with Rexar so loud, like even if there was gunfire,
they may not hear it, right?
You'll hear it.
Girl, I got guns out.
So I have not been drinking. I only puked because it was sympathetic puke, and I have a weak stomach.
Right. Yeah, you smell that and you got to do it.
Yeah, that is what made me vomit. So I'd rather pull my Gauss pistol and shoot him.
Go for it.
It's all the same to everyone.
I mean, nobody's going to hear a Gauss pistol going. Are you single shot or burst fire?
Probably. I mean, frankly, probably single shot because it would have been a reflex to pull it.
Okay.
Like I'm not like in weight setting anything up. I'm
right.
Going. So.
Yeah, Gauss pistols are like a Beretta 93R. If you know a Beretta 93R, it is the smallest machine pistol. Thank God Italy ever made it because it is my favorite gun of all time. Single shot, 3-shot burst centering, or full rock and roll in something the size of a P90. It's tiny. So what'd you get?
10.
Okay, so oh man, +2 to damage. Well, actually, hold on. +4 to damage because you're close range.
Done. Ooh, let's see. 11.
Holy shit. All right.
I was aiming right for the hole that's this blade made. Right there in the chest. So there's no armor because it already has a hole in it.
This sucks for this guy. He's still up.
Don't mess with these
He is
random humans.
bleeding profusely. Oh, actually. Yeah, no, that was right. So, you guys outside, Bjorn and Athaku, you hear the telltale crack, zip crack of a Gauss pistol being fired, but the tent kind of muffled the sound, and everybody outside, they're literally roaring like lions and cheering as this fight between Rexar and the other guy are going on. And so nobody seems to have heard. But you guys are right next to the tent. You're like, holy shit. Bjorn, what are you doing?
So do I know that my new friends are in this fight, or am I just kind of looking through the slit in the tent and not aware of what's happening?
Oh, you're fully aware of what's going on. You can see, you're watching it on the side of the tent through low-level lantern light like a shadow puppet show.
Plus, I told Josh to run, so he knows that we were coming.
Well, yeah, but Bjorn doesn't. Bjorn didn't get the message. Only Athaku got the message.
I told him, I was like, dude, we need to get
Right.
out of it.
You told him that you need to get out of there, but he didn't have any more details than that. So Bjorn, you're watching this shadow puppet show going on the side of the tent. And you see like one of the guys come in and stab the you can tell which one is obviously which one is the Aslan because he's bigger than the rest. You see him get stabbed, and then you see one shadow pull out a pistol, and you hear that zip crack as the Gauss pistol goes off, and you see, this Aslan is like kind of staggered by this shot.
Yeah. That's. I'll turn to my colleague and say, "Oh crap, we're boned. We're gonna have to get off this planet fast." And I've got my hand on my personal laser, and I'm thinking, "Oh snap!" So I'm gonna turn back around, grab I was trying to ditch and run. Just I didn't want to have that with me. I wanted to get it later, but I'll grab the computer and. I'll run for, so I pick up the computer back up out of the trash where I had tried to cover it up so it wasn't seen, and shake my head like, oh, we're up shit creek now. There's going to be a body, and run back through the tent, take a look at what's happening there, and that's probably all I'll be able to get done.
So you're going back into the tent?
Yeah, that's where this murder is occurring, right?
Right. So are you going in the front door, or are you going in the slit in the back?
Slit.
Okay, so
the slit is like 3 feet away from me or something.
So the rest of you see the slit open up, and you see Bjorn come in, and he's got this laptop in one hand and his laser pistol in the other.
Saying, "Oh my God, I hope you got away off this planet fast."
Athaku, what would you like to do?
Oh boy. So with my hollow sight, am I able to, like, how far away am I from this guy? It's got to be like 5 meters, like not super.
Yeah, I would say 5 meters is about right. And what you're seeing on the side of the tent is a shadow of this guy.
Yep. I'm gonna take aim.
So minor action, you take aim. That'll give you a +1 to hit the shadow.
Yep. And then I will take shot.
Go for it. Single or auto fire?
Cool.
So single shot burst or auto fire? Because you got a laser carbine.
I'm just trying to take one shot.
One shot, yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah, laser carbine doesn't have auto fire. So, okay.
Yep. So that is an 8.
That hits. No plus the damage, but it hits. Roll your damage.
4D on the damage, which is pretty freaking sweet.
Teal 9 laser carbine.
Oh my freaking goodness. That is a 1, a 2, and 2 3s. So 9 damage.
Okay. So, this guy, you tag him, with this laser, and you hear the telltale crack, and there's a flash of light, and there's a burn hole about the size of a quarter in the side of the tent, and you see the shadow, you see this Aslan go down. The rest of you see a laser tag him, and the guy it hits him in the side of the head, and this Aslan just goes down. Athaku, you look around, and none of the crowd has really noticed. But you see that at this point, you see through the leg, because you're laying prone, you see that you can't tell exactly what's going on, but you can tell that Iyhki is being held up off the ground. His feet are like, a half a meter up off the ground and dangling. So clearly, Rexar has him, up and off the ground. And you see a big pool of blood.
Well, that blood is going to belong to Rexar pretty soon, so I think it's okay.
Right.
I'm gonna casually leave the tent whistling like nothing's happened.
So, well, here's the question. You got a body laying here. What do you guys want to do about that?
Sneak away.
Just leave it.
Stuff it in the trash can that Bjorn was trying to put the laptop in.
Make it look like it's sleeping.
Bjorn's freaking out.
Cover it with a blanket.
Does anybody got a ship?
If we can find something to make the blood less obvious, we actually probably could disguise it like they're sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
That's not half bad. I was gonna try and be like, what kind of an attack the sad sick human or whatever?
So are you guys are wanting to take this body, put it into a bed, may look like he's sleeping as he's bleeding from a sword wound.
I thought we were gonna just take a blanket and put it over him and
Just leave him on the floor. Sure, you can do that.
Like up in bed, but like he's passed out on the ground.
Thank you, drunk Kev.
Like put it over him and then walk out. Everything is fine here. Let's go.
Wait, then it might make it out okay if Rexar is if he owns this guy, it is from winning. I don't know what
the battle is over. Rexar stands victorious, and
we need to GTFO.
Yes.
maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know.
Yeah, I think,
You guys gonna give us a ride?
Iyhki the Cleaver comes up to Rexar and he says, You have won the challenge of Wakafa.
I'm just sorry I had to take one of your leaders in the process.
No, you had no choice. He claimed Wakafa. It's all right. Iyhki has been looking for a valiant death, and you gave that to him. He says, Iyhki the Cleaver says, Iyhki did have a wife and some considerable funds, as well as a ship. Of course, because you won the challenge of Wakafa, all of that will belong to you. Tomorrow there will be a ceremony where you will meet the wife and come to whatever agreement you decide to come to. Good job in winning the duel. And the crowd starts to disperse, and we'll pick up there next week.
Oh my god. Good game, everybody. We survived. Despite my incompetence. That was really good. I really
We got some cleanup to do.
Clean up aisle 6.
We need kitty litter to put over the blood.
Kitty litter. Yes. Well, it is an Aslan camp, so there's probably plenty of kitty litter.
Just sprinkle it on.
It absorbs
The tiny fresh.
I mean, it works for oil. It works
Exactly.
for
Ice, everything.
blood.
I don't know.
Bjorn's just walking around like another planet, another murder.
Yes. I am going to say,
So I think we're kindred spirits. We'll probably
He struck first, Bjorn.
It was
All I did was finish.
Don't give me that shit hand.
We'll see you next week, guys.
I will see you guys next week. We will be back next week at 7 p.m. for Pirates of Drinax.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a good night, guys.